My name, for purposes of this demo, is EoG. And one of the reasons that I'm here is because I have a purpose in life to reveal false things and to expose what the truth really is. And how did I find out that was my purpose in life? Well, as a child, I had parents that had that motive. So they went into religion, which is a channel and an avenue to try to figure out what life and death is about, what earth is about, what man is about, what nature is about. If you don't look around you and start wondering why you're a part of things and what things are that you're a part of, then you should. So I'm dealing with this new media presentation that's going to be, the title of it is going to be Truth Rising. I finally came to a point in my life where everything came together, where it's time for me to expose some things, share some things, and present some things. Because I found out things had been shared wrong with me, presented wrong to me, and basically I was taught some things that weren't true. I could sense that all along because I had in my spirit a purpose that seemed like it didn't fit where I was at. At first, I attributed to the fact that I was a black man and my ancestors were kidnapped and removed from the place that they originally were. And of course, that is Africa. And Black Lives Matter became almost a particular pinnacle point in my life where a lot of things got exposed behind that. It was a worldwide thing, and I saw that it wasn't coordinated by any particular government, any particular group, like the Euros or the Europeans, or some people call them white people. I don't use terms that are not true, and there's no term that is true that depicts race. The human race is one with a lot of different developments coming from different geographical areas and different mixing of DNA, if you want to go scientific. So today I'll be starting this demo called Truth Rising. So who I am right now today is not important, but I'm sure before you can accept anything that I say, you probably would want to know who that is. But I'm going to tell you how I got here, how I found out why I was here, and what I'm supposed to be doing today, what my purpose is at this particular season and time in my life, with all that has occurred. I was born in poverty. My parents weren't highly educated. They came out of the descendancy of slaves, so it took a while for our generations to acquire anything based on the fact we was already oppressed and discriminated and deprived and giving wrong information constantly in order to be controlled and manipulated and used. Of course, they didn't know that, and some of them did, but there was a sense of something's not right. So my father and my mother, seeking what you might call righteousness or what is truth concerning those things, used religion in order to try to find that. As I grew up, it did not fit in my early life with what I was dealing with. When we got a little older, I was about 7, we moved across the tracks because in the beginning, we didn't have water in our house. We were in a municipal area, in an urban environment, one of the most impoverished, high crime, underserved area in a municipality. And we were at the bottom of the bottom, but we didn't know it. because we had good parents who fed us, gave us a place to stay on a constant basis, consistently in the same place, and gave us what we needed. So we were just children growing up having fun. And then we moved to a higher level of poverty, which meant we didn't have an outhouse in the back or a well to get our water. So when we moved in the same area on the other side of the tracks, literally, I noticed that we had running water in the house. So I thought we were rich. And that was in the early 60s. I was born during Jim Crow. If you don't know what Jim Crow is, you need to research it. If you're not going to do any research, it's no use in you listening to me, because I expect you to research anything I say and validate it for yourself. I don't expect you to say, ooh, that sounds good, and run on it, because that's a problem that we have. We don't know how to validate things to see if they're real or not. And I would not want you accepting anything I say without you getting your own verification based on what you verify things on. So I didn't accept religion, and my family wasn't too happy with that. My father had become a leader in the religious community. So they basically ostracized me from the family as one of the devils or one of the bad kids. So I bought into that, and I ran with the bad kids in the area. So I got involved in the area that we might call the streets. You may not know what that means. You may think that means a drug addict. You may think that means a drug dealer. You may think that means a pimp. You may think that that means some type of hustler. But in the streets, it's basically a group of people trying to survive or trying to get as much as they can any way they can. In our lifetime, we call it the fast lane. So if anybody said, what do you do? If it was somebody from that, he said, I'm in the fast lane. There was people who shot pool, played cards, ran after-hour joints, rolled dice, did many things to try to supplement their income in order to survive. And there was people who were pimps, and there were prostitutes, and there was scandalous people like Trump, and there was corrupt people who con men on a constant basis that were good at manipulating and taking from people who had a little. And so I learned that. So after the streets life, here comes Vietnam. And I'm in school. I get kicked out of school because of a racist situation that happened to me that caused me to have a lot of anger and hatred that made it to where I wasn't too happy with white people telling me what to do. What I'm trying to share with you today is what you might call, if you're religious, the wiles of the devil, or a wicked force that is trying to destroy and control in order to destroy or steal something from you that you may not even know you have. And so you may call that the devil, you may call that Satan, you may call it Lucifer, depending on the religious particular background that you have. Pretty much everybody knows there's evil forces out here that influence, and there's evil force, and there's good forces out here that influence. And we basically are mostly a people who are influenced by our environment based on our perceptions. So the wicked forces give you a perception, and the good forces try to give you a perception. Whichever perception that you basically fall into is what you follow. The wicked forces like to give you a perception of FOMO, fear of missing out. If you don't do some things to dominate, you're going to be dominated. If you don't get control, you're going to be controlled. If you don't take something from somebody, you won't survive, and they will. So it's a thing that the Bible might call covetousness, if you listen to the Bible and you're in that religious scene that deals with Christianity, which I am a part of a variety of different religions, because I believe pretty much all of them have some truth in them, or they wouldn't even be worth someone trying to believe in them. These systems are set up by the forces that you might call the devil versus God. There are spiritual wickedness, and then there are holy spirits. There are angels that are good, as you call them, and there are angels or demonic forces that are bad. They're invisible and they influence our behaviors. Sometimes we mistake nature for them, and they use nature to give you the wrong perception of which way you must go if you accept it. So at this particular time, I'm going to close this demo. But right now, I'm just bringing you into a little understanding about how I got here. Thank you.